go ahead and open Snapseed and hit the plus button. I'm just going to keep my current selection. So let's say I choose the same photo again, right? Instead of going to looks on the lower left hand corner, I'm going to hit the tools button in the middle. You see this will pop up. I'm going to go to this section in the upper left hand that says Tune Image. I hit Tune Image. Now if you use your finger and you press it on the screen and you roll it up, you can see there's brightness, there's contrast, saturation, ambiance, highlights, shadows, and warmth. So to keep things simple, let's say I want to adjust the brightness. So I choose the brightness, it's highlighted in blue. And you'll see it on the top here, it says brightness. Now if I press my finger down on the screen again, and I swipe to the right, you'll see it goes from 0 to 20, 25, 30, and you can also see how this literally brightens up the image below. Conversely, if I go the opposite direction and swipe left, you'll see the brightness goes from negative 10, 17, 21, and the image will obviously get darker. But since I wanted brightness, I'm going to choose to make it a little bit brighter. Let's say I just choose 20. And when you're done with that, just hit the check mark on the right. Now let's say another thing I want to change is, again, going back to tools, I go back to the Tune Image, and I want to change the saturation. I want to give it a little oomph. So I hit saturation. On top you'll see it says saturation. If doing the same thing, you press your finger down on the screen and you move it to the right, you'll see that the saturation really changes color and the numbers increase. Whereas if I move it to the left, the saturation goes into the negative numbers and it becomes more dull, almost to the point of very gray color. And you can just play around with it according to your brand style. Again, I'm looking for something a little in between, so I'm just going to do saturation of say 20. And I'm going to hit the check mark. And then one final thing, let's say I'm still not satisfied. I go back to Tools, back to Tune Image, and in this case, let's say I want to do a little saturation. Or no, I'm going to change to contrast because we already did saturation. So contrast, again, you can visually see the changes. If you swipe to the right, you'll see how the colors contrast with each other much more dramatically. If you swipe to the left, it's not as dramatic and the numbers decline and it goes into the negative. So I decided to keep it as is. I'm happy the way it is. So I'm just going to hit the check mark. And then again, I'm going to hit save a copy. That way I can undo any changes I want in the future. And it's successfully saved.